Hi, my name is Mindy. I'm the founder of ManeHub, and I'm here today to give you a quick walkthrough of the new Horselife Organiser. This is only available for another 3 days, so if you do want a copy of this, be very quick and jump on over to our website and grab a copy. There'll be links in the comments of where to read more information and where to buy a copy. Why is it only a limited edition and available for 3 days? Well, this is not our core business. ManeHub is a software platform for event ticketing for horses, and it also has a module of horse management. But this Horselife Organiser 6 years ago was actually the inspiration for ManeHub itself. So each year I redesign it and I do new illustrations and release it as a pre-sale for a limited edition, just to celebrate that it's its piece in ManeHub's conception. So after 6 years of developing the organiser, what it is today is based off user feedback. So over the last 6 years, from the first version, which was a paperback, black and white, and very basic, we've got lots of feedback from our users as to how to improve it and what they want, and which has come today to what I think is our best yet, the Horselife Organiser. So this year we've included a ring binder so that you can fold it back on itself like that, and it makes it much easier to write in. And then we've also included, you can see that contents page, it's packed full of value, and it's now got the tabs. So we've got the organisation, horse info, a general diary, travelling, and our brand new bonus section. So let's jump right in and have a quick look. So organisation, it starts with a main calendar and an events, and this is the snapshot of the whole year. The diary is undated, so you can start at any time of year or any year. It doesn't matter. You can start at January, February, March, or you can start New Year and have a year fresh. So the year at a glance is just for your main, looking at the year at a glance, literally. You can put in your major events. So I've got a wedding and the championships are in September. Then flip to the next page and we have a year at a glance in more value and in more detail. And this is where you can plan out your year a little bit further. I like to put all of my events in, my holidays, work commitments, so I can see what I can and can't do during the year, what to plan for, how much time I've got. Then we have a section for contacts. You've got your vet, farrier, and some suggestions there, but you can add whatever you like. You could have your own doctor, personal stuff. We've got memberships, clubs, and associations. As horse owners, we tend to be members of multiple different clubs, so there's a few different options there, and some notes. Maybe you buy a magazine every year and you've got your subscriptions, whatever you'd like to put there. We've designed the organizer so that it's very user-friendly and you can fill this in whatever way you work, whatever way works for you. The budget tracker and expenses, a lot of us don't want to fill that in. We don't want to know how much we spend, but it is handy. Maybe you just want to use it for planning what you need to save for a saddle, or perhaps you just want to keep your feed bill to a minimum. All right, so then there's some note sections there, so you can fill in some notes, and then we move on to the horse section. This is all designed and illustrated by me. And we start off with a section you can put picture of 2 horses. So the diary allocates for 2 horses, but a lot of the users that we have managed to put more in. They'll put their 2 main riding horses in this section, and then they have other horses that are on spell, or maybe they don't ride so much, and they fill it in other sections, which I'll show you. So this little section is just a photo for each. And then we've got write something your horse would say if it could talk. So just something that users wanted to include, something a little bit unique about each horse. So each horse has its own section. They have a profile picture, their name, nickname, profile information, and then a full medical history. We've got illnesses and injuries, treatments, dentistry work, vaccinations, worming schedule, and including the brand used. Then we move to diet and supplements, We have a monthly weight monitoring where you can take your horse's weight each month just to keep an eye on it. There's a lot of things you can get on top of then. You could be ahead of saddle fit issues if your horse is losing weight, things like that. Even if you only have a weight tape, as long as you do it at the same place, same piece of concrete, nice and flat, at least your reading is consistent. And even if it's not exactly their weight, it's still an indication of the change in their weight. So highly recommended. Hoof and body care, so you can put, you know, when your farrier comes or when your body worker comes, there's a body worker down there. Now, each horse has its own year at a view. So you can actually see each horse's entire year at a glance. Events, farrier, worming, training, bodywork, other. So you can plan their whole year out there. If you're regularly competing, this is really handy. If you've got a event coming up in March, you can go, right, well, I need to do a lot of training in February. I need to have the farrier come at an optimal time, make sure he's wormed, bodywork, things like that. And moving on, we have an activity log. So there you can put in any type of riding. If you're just a hobby rider, you might want to put how many times you go for a ride in the park. If you're a competitive rider, this might be your log of your training. It could be flat work, it could be ground work, arena work, track work, whatever you like. It's just designed that you can put your style of riding in there. And then it moves on to the second one. So it repeats that for the second horse. And there's some notes and reminders. We move on to diary. So the diary starts with a weekly schedule. This helps you during the year to stay really, really productive with your time. If you have a standard of what your week should look like and what you try to achieve, you can keep coming back to that, because inevitably life gets away on you and all of a sudden your week just doesn't look like what you want it to do and you're not getting anything done. So if you set out what you would like your week to look like, then you can keep coming back to this and trying to realign with your goals. And then we move into the weekly diary. There's 52 pages like this. You've got your horse to-do list, your personal to-do list, and then you have a section for each day of a highlight of your week. So this is where you could include other horses if you want. So if you've got horses on spell, you might want to put in what you need to do with them, or you might want to record in your days of horses that are going to breeding, moving, spelling, things like that. So that's 52 weeks of diary there. And then we have a section on traveling. So the traveling section, you may or may not use that, but it is handy to keep a track of what your horses do. Even if you're riding out your front gate and you're going to the local pony club, if there was an outbreak of something, then you can look back and go, oh, well, I was there a week before, so I'm probably safe. Yeah, things like that. And if there ever was an outbreak, you might get asked where your horses were on such and such a day, etc. It starts with a destination, have horse will travel. This is just a fun little section about places you've been that are awesome with your horse, places you'd like to go, and notes for yourself about traveling with horses. Sometimes we just learn on the fly, and even the most experienced people just never stop learning. There's a movement record, and in here we talk about PIC. That is an Australian thing. It's a property identification code. Some other countries do have PICs, or property identification code of some sort, and it's just a way of identifying the property that they came from, the property that they moved to, and the property that they go back to. So whether or not you have that, you can skip that or you can make it something else. Pre-movement temperatures. This is an increasing thing across the world, actually, is to be taking your horse's temperature before you go to an event. Horse industry was doing this long before COVID, and sometimes it's only just 3 days of taking your horse's temperature rectally in the morning and afternoon, just to make sure that there's nothing wrong before you go to an event. And it's just responsible horse husbandry that's increasing in popularity, and some events it is a requirement. Then we've got horse first aid and human first aid. So this is You can pack your first aid kit and make sure that every time you travel, you've got everything you need. So we've got some suggestions, and then you can fill in your rest and check it regularly to make sure that it's still full. Travel packing list. Everybody needs one of these. So what you can do is we've got some suggestions, but you can fill out what you want. You can write over that. We've made it nice and light so you can write over it, put white out over it. And then you can put your event here, and each time you travel, you can go through and tick off that you've packed everything that you want. So you've got quite a few events across there, and you should hopefully not forget anything. The bonus section. This is brand new this year. I'm very excited to let some commercial contributors add their little bit. Now this is my prototype, so I don't have the commercial contributors components printed in there, but I can assure you it's very exciting. We've got Stance Equitech, who have got an activity in there that's going to help you nail your nutrition for your horse. Then we've got a section from EggScope, who are going to help you maintain your horse's egg count during the year, or test for your egg count, and stay on top of your worming throughout the year for each of your 2 horses. Then we've got a section from Equestrian Confidence. It's going to help you nail your equestrian goals and in competition. And there's some other contributors. We've got High Vibes, which is an exciting new way to almost talk to your horse. So be sure to have a look at that when you get into the bonus section. And that's new this year, and certainly we're looking forward to getting your feedback on that, so we can do it again next year, hopefully with some same contributors and more. So to find out more about that, jump onto the website and read more about this and grab your copy, because you only have 3 days left to grab one, and it won't be available again after that. So yeah, jump on board. These raise money towards increasing features on our online platform. So it is a celebration of the inspiration for the ManeHub platform, and it will go towards making the ManeHub platform even better. So if you buy one, I hope you like one. I'd love to hear your feedback for next year when we do it again.